at Starbucks and welcome, Kat, to the coffee chats. Whee!
Hello.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Oh, God, I'm so excited. I'm good. I'm so excited to see your beautiful face.
I'm
Also, your
excited to see you
nice,
too.
yeah, your serene, what is the word? Serene background of like the books and the Buddha. Yeah, and the
Yeah,
plants. Yeah.
my little plants.
Oh
Yeah.
man. So Kat comes to us from Get to Know.
Yep.
Am I ever saying that right? She's another one of our alt spin superstars.
Yeah. She is. Gatno
Oh
is
yeah.
yeah, it's Gatno. Getno, Gatno. Like,
It's
yeah, that's
no,
perfect. Get
yeah.
to know.
We
Yeah.
we all need such French lessons. Like we're so excited to have Emily come on board as a master trainer.
Right?
And yeah, so I asked her to send me like some little video clips.
Yeah.
And she sent one where I'm not sure if you were there, but it was at the brewery. And literally she's doing one of her combos and she goes,
Oh
encore,
yeah.
like for again. And we're all like, oh my God. And it's like a 4 second clip. I might post it today where we're literally like, man, spin class sounds so much better in French.
It's
Encore.
and it's funny because the other day we had someone speaking English at a class who came. I took spin instructor in English, teach in French. It still pumps and dips and
Yes. Yeah.
it
Yeah.
sounds the same,
Yeah.
but it was like, okay, I don't know if I can I had to think about it a little
Yeah.
bit more. It
Yeah.
didn't flow as much, but
That's so
yeah, like
funny. That's
I'm super
amazing.
excited that now
Yeah.
the courses are going to be given in French and like that's exciting. Awesome
Yay.
stuff.
I'm so
Yeah.
excited too. We're working on the manual in French currently. My Laura is helping
Amazing.
with that. I got to check in
Nice.
with her. But yeah,
Amazing.
I'm so excited to see you because I just think your journey, I don't want to say it was unique, but I don't know, we fell in love with you from minute one. That we definitely did. Yeah,
Wow.
we did. And that definitely happened with Michelle and I. And I'm like, I can't even pinpoint what it was. It's just, yeah. First, your energy when we hopped on Zoom that first morning or whatever, and you were there first, I don't know, first morning or night, but you and I were like, wow. I was like, oh
Ah, yeah.
yeah, this is where it's at, right?
It's
I was
pretty
living
crazy.
for it. Yeah.
Yeah.
How long ago was
Yeah.
training now?
So we finished in, oh my goodness, April? Was it
April.
April?
So this year, it
April.
was still, yeah, it was
Oh
this year.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's still fresh.
Yes.
Yeah, we finished in April. Um, 6 weeks. It went by so fast.
Really?
It was, yeah, like it went by so fast and it was every weekend on Saturdays. And after we had finished the 6 weeks, I was kind of like lost for that 2 hours of time. What do I do
Yeah.
this afternoon?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll get on my bike and I'll do some more. But it was an amazing 6 weeks. We were a
Wow.
small group, I guess,
Yeah.
right? I think
Yeah.
we were a small group,
Yeah.
but we still follow each other on Instagram. A lot of the girls were still, we like each other's stories and we still see each other on Instagram. So it's pretty cool it was a really amazing experience. Just like,
Ah,
taking away like just the social aspect of it. It was really amazing.
I think that's so important, the social aspect. And I really watch, as you know, I watch for that
Yeah.
because if you're taking the instructor training and you're not really cheerleading each other on or you're not interested, that
Yeah.
really, to me, I'm like, oh my gosh, but they're going to be instructors and they want to love everyone. And if you're
Yeah.
not cheerleading, and it rarely does happen, but sometimes it's just, yeah, you're just like, oh my gosh. But people, like, again, have lives, they're busy, da, da, da. But to
Yeah.
me, that's part of the process is the
Yep.
connecting. And
Absolutely.
yeah, we even talked when Emily was on, Emily and I did our
Hmm.
chats, like her and Becky, who owns Warehouse here at Airtree, were
Yeah.
like they've been best friends online since their
Yeah.
training. And
Yeah.
really, Becky redid because Becky was live with our live training in 2019. And then I was like, oh, we're going online. Do you want to come
Oh,
online? So just for the review, as I always do, right? Invite people
yeah.
back. So then she comes
Absolutely.
back on, makes all these other great people. And what I love is that Emily and Becky, like, they're still connected.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah. Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
my favorite. It's my favorite thing, the connections.
Oh, it's amazing because you really do meet the people at the right time. you do things, everything happens in a good like sequence like that. And then you meet the people that you're supposed to meet because they're going to impact your life in a way that you don't really know necessarily. But then when it happens, you're like, oh my God, yes, like I
I think
see
so
why
as
this is
well. Like,
all, yeah, that's
you're
amazing.
amazing.
Yeah, I love
But
that.
I just don't even know. So what you're saying, as I need to reach for a pen that works, is that you feel like you met us at the right time.
Yeah,
That's what you're saying.
absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Emily, the whole opening the studio and then me
Yes.
going to the studio, like all of this had, you said it, right? The trickle effect.
Yeah.
I never
The
called it
ripple, I call it the ripple
the
effect.
ripple
Yes.
effect.
Yeah.
And
Like
that's
just
just
throwing a rock in the water
things
and the ripples.
and then and then
Yeah.
everything kind of just happens the way that it's supposed to happen.
Mhm.
And it's same
Yeah.
thing with, when I met Emily, it was the same thing. It was, something has to like come out of this because I just loved her energy. And then, spin instructor training, she posted something at some point and I went on your page, I clicked and I said to myself, this girl, I have to do like I have to get trained by this girl because she's amazing. And I just I knew that it was, and I remember Emily telling me, she's like, you're gonna love Tash. I'm like, oh, I have no doubt about that. I was super excited. So, and it all worked out. And then Michelle
Oh,
as well, and her
yeah.
coming on and helping out, like
Yeah.
commenting on my videos, like that was everything. Just it was perfect. So
It's so good. And I
yeah,
think Michelle brings something so much different than me because I've been like for me, I've been assessing videos and I've been this content of like
yeah,
training spin instructors. I literally have been doing it since, well, I mentored at Good Life for years, the Les Mills programs, and then started teaching and training in 2012 at One Cycle and Hot Yoga and CrossFit. And so I literally could do the training, like the aspect of what we need to learn in my sleep.
yeah.
And sometimes I think that maybe that can get like that's why I pass it off to the younger generation, pass it off to like having Michelle deliver and now Emily coming on board
Yeah.
and all the other trainers I've ever had. It's nice because I think I add the aspect of I don't want to say fucking everyone up, but it's like come in, blow everyone up, and then see you later. You know where to
Yeah.
find me, right? Within the
Yeah.
training. And I really love that. I
Yeah.
just, because for me, it's as much about the bike as it is mentoring people. Like, and that's where I want to
Oh,
move
is
towards
it
is mentoring
ever?
entrepreneurs. Yeah. Because in
And that's
everything we
huge.
do, it's building confidence. Like it's like training the bike, but really we bring in the confidence aspect. You start
Absolutely.
to learn the track profiles, you start to get confident each track. They're like, okay, right? Like stuff like, oh my God, love it.
Absolutely.
Love it. I can't believe that
Yeah.
course. It's so good. I talk
Yeah.
about it
It
all
is
the time. I'm
really
like,
good.
I can't believe, but in the aspect of even like organizing it and online and the little extra things, which have all come from trainers that I've had or people in the course. Like one of my girls,
Exactly.
Charity, was like, you have to read Untamed by Glennon Doyle. And it was like, there are 10,000 mic drop moments in that. It's insane.
It's amazing.
Insane. So I
It's
bring it
really
all with
amazing.
me. Yeah,
Yeah.
I love it. What do you think was your biggest aha moment after training?
My biggest aha moment
Mhm.
after training.
Yeah,
Hmm.
besides your
I've
big
had
gold
a
shirt you have on. Mhm. Yeah, authentic AF, people.
this yeah.
Yeah,
So I've had a lot of aha moments. I think that um oh my goodness. I
it's
think
tough.
that it is really tough because I went through like a series of aha
Yeah.
moments and I thought that they were aha moments and then said, "Oh, wait a minute," and then had to kind of come back from that. Um,
So, but tell us, share if
yeah.
you want to share that with
So
us. We'd love to hear.
finishing instructor training was a lot of it, in the beginning, I was very, very excited and
Yes.
I was excited to get on the bike and I felt very ready to start instructing. And I remember we go through the bike aspect, like you say, but we also go through the mentoring experience. And, you're going through telling us, oh, if people sign up to your class and they don't come back, like that's okay. And I'm
Yeah.
like sitting, in my house and I'm like, of course it's okay. Are you kidding me? Like, yeah, not everyone's gonna like you, duh. But
Oh,
then you get into it and you think that you're like, yeah, this is like totally fine. And then that's the aha moment where you're like, okay, I'm going to be facing a lot of fears. I'm going to be
yeah.
facing a lot of yeah, like that just anxieties that I had that I knew that I had, but looking at, you and Michelle and Emily and Erica and all the instructors that I have around me,
Yeah.
and everybody makes it look so easy that I was like, I totally got this.
Yeah.
And then you get
Yeah.
there and you
Yeah.
are faced with a lot of challenges, a
Mhm.
lot of challenges. So I think the aha moment is really just it's going to take time. Like it's going to take time to find yourself. And you said this so many times, and Michelle said it so many times during training. Like you'll find yourself, be authentic. And I'm like absorbing all of this information
Yes.
and saying, yeah, of course I'm going to be authentic. Like,
Yeah.
yes, this is what I want to do. And then it's like, it's not that easy.
No.
Like you have to, it
No.
takes time.
Oh yeah.
And so that was a big step into the transition between, finishing instructor training. I knew all my BPMs, I knew all my track profiles, I knew all this stuff. And I had you guys that I was able to come back to,
Of
thankfully,
course. Of
when I was,
course.
in times of need.
Yeah.
And of course, Em has been there always, and she's very, very much there. Um,
So
she's been
present.
incredible. So
Yes.
I think that that's what it is. It's just give yourself some time. The aha moment came after a couple weeks, and it's give yourself some time because yes, you're ready to start, but just give yourself some time to ease into it.
Yeah.
I think that's kind
Yeah.
of my, yeah.
Aha moment. And how do you think you did that? Or what? So because we say all these things. So, you're like, people might not like you. And the one thing that really is tough is when, and we had this at one cycle, even all the time, like a lot of times with studios, I don't recommend them to give the instructors access to whatever mind body platform they have, whatever it
Yeah,
is,
right.
because that becomes a whole mind fuck of like, oh, there's 10,000 people in, somebody else's class and I've got five. Oh my God. Okay. So, and that, oh, like I've had years, and actually, I really should talk about that in training more because what I do is I coach studio owners, but nowadays you can't not. Like studios are smaller
Right.
and you have to
Yeah,
give that access. But at the end of the
of
day, I'd be
course.
like, no, do not give it to them or only access to their classes because it goes down the rabbit hole, and that is that's a whole thing in itself. I don't know why I
Yeah.
thought of that, but that is something that used to happen to me. And then I'd be like, no, it's okay. I just promote my classes and the classes I'm going to this week. And that's it.
Right.
That's all I can
And
do.
that's
And I have
it.
all my tools. And then I go
Yeah.
back to my tools.
Yeah.
Texting my friends, like when I make friends on Instagram and I have like a Legree and I have my spin. And so I'd be like, I'm selling Legree or spin, whatever it was.
Yeah.
And that's again surrounding myself by my people. But the numbers can just throw you for a loop, right?
Oh yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
What's wrong with me?
um
Why aren't they coming to my class? Da, da, da. And I'm like,
exactly.
it's
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 so easy to
yeah.
say that.
Oh,
So
it's
easy
so
to say these things.
yeah.
So I think that so I kind of I went through this, you know, like the adrenaline rush of like
Yes.
starting off and so that lasted, and then at some point I hit a wall. I was exhausted.
Mm.
I was I went to actually asking myself, I sat down with my husband one night and I'm like, well, maybe I'm just not meant to do this because I'm like super stressed out.
Yeah.
I'm
I'm not having
freaking
fun.
out, not having fun. And I'm like, there's
Yeah.
no way there's no way that I love spin so much. And there's no way that I love sharing my love for spin that this is the end of things. There's no way because I love it so much. There has to be something else,
Right.
something gotta
So
give, right?
what led you to that? Like what happened there? So, and how long was that
So,
after you started teaching? Like you just, because one of my other instructors I've trained, she's like, Tash, you need a 1 year after. Now you're not 1 year, but and she was like 1 year after because the high, and I didn't get all this stuff, the high of the friend and family ride and everyone
oh
comes
yeah,
and it's amazing and it's the high. And yeah, exactly. And then she's like, slowly, I just started, I wasn't getting subs and da da da. And then
yeah,
people aren't coming to the class. And I was like, what? And so the same thing. She started
yeah,
going like feeling the downward spiral. And
yeah,
thank God she came back to me as well. Like I met her for coffee. I was like, okay, we're gonna go through this.
let's
And
assess
for
this.
her,
Yeah,
yeah, for her, it was feeling the pressure of like everyone else doing a lot of choreography and she felt she had to keep up. And again, I go back to the training and I was
yeah,
like, those videos you saw of me, like that's how I taught, like literally me teaching lessons. Like
yeah,
that's how I taught, and it's okay.
yeah,
People can like you whether you add in more choreography or not. People come for you. So I had to
yeah,
really with her, I had to like bring her back, way bring her back.
yeah.
Yeah,
And that's
but I don't know if your
exactly
situation. I can't remember what
so
it was.
it kind of so how it started. Social media can be such a great thing, but it can also
Yes.
be
Yeah.
kind of, so what happened was so I, started off exactly like that. And I'm going on in a rabbit hole of following spin.
Instagram
Like
spin.
I was like following people in
Oh,
Brazil.
cat.
Like it was all
Oh,
over the world, Tash. It was everywhere. I was following everyone and it was yes, 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 everywhere,
no.
everything. It was
Where, like,
it was
I would have been like, no, no, no,
consuming.
no, 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 no.
Yeah.
Didn't I talk about Instagram spin? And again, not to everyone watching,
Oh,
like, and
absolutely.
all our friends. It's not that I
Yeah,
don't love Instagram spin. It just becomes the biggest comparison game. And
it does.
and then I have to stand strong and like, no, I love my pump dip and my booty tap and my dip tab. And like, I don't like,
Exactly.
but it makes you question your existence.
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's what happened. I went through, like I still have, so I keep obviously like on my playlist and I keep all of my track profiles, like, you know,
Yeah.
first
Oh yeah.
playlist all the way to, today. And learning these choreographies had me so anxiety ridden. Like I would
I
be
can't do them.
quizzing myself, like, and it was crazy. It was terrible. I was arriving to spin class, and I was like, I need 1 week to learn a playlist. A week to learn a playlist. That means that I am constantly, and I'm like, I can't do more than 2 classes a week because then it means I have to learn another. And I was putting
Oh
all this
my
pressure.
God.
No one was putting this pressure on
No,
me.
no, no.
M wasn't putting this pressure on me. No one was telling me that this was what I had to do. So I crashed and I had to take a break. I had to take a break.
Oh my
So I
goodness.
took a break. So I told
From teaching.
Emily from instructing
Oh my
spinning, I
gosh.
had to take a break. I hit a wall and I had to take a break. And thankfully, Emily was there. And not only was she, because I said, all right, I have anxiety. I can't do this. Like I was having, I was not functioning pretty much. I was not functioning. It was really bad.
My God,
And I
Kat.
messaged her. I messaged her and I was like, well, I might lose my job over this, but like I can't function. So I have to message her. I'm being very transparent right now. This
Good.
kind of, but anyways,
No,
hopefully
but you
this can
should.
help
I'm ready.
someone in the
I'm literally,
future.
well, this is it. I
Hopefully
actually just
it
wrote
can help
down.
someone.
Yeah.
So,
But how long after you had started teaching did you crash?
so this was I started teaching in what, April,
Okay.
and this was in end of May. Like it
Mm,
did not take much time. It is
okay.
not sustainable. In other words, it
Yeah,
is not
exactly.
sustainable. You
Yeah.
cannot keep going this way.
Yeah.
So, um, I messaged Emily, and immediately not only was she super calm about it, because I was basically telling her, well, I can't, I can't instruct, I can't give these classes. So I'm basically leaving her with, one less instructor. So not only was she calm, she was supportive,
Yes.
and she was understanding. Her and I messaged back and forth a lot. She shared some of her personal experience, and I went to one of her classes after this happened, because I wanted to just go back to spin and
Yeah. Fall back in
just
love.
be on
Yeah.
the fall back in love. I needed
Yes.
like,
Yeah.
and she gave me a journal to, and it's like a prompting journal. Yeah. Where, like every morning, and I'm still doing this, like this is part of my daily routine, where every morning, you get your thoughts out. It prompts you to, goals for the day. How are you going to move your body? What are you grateful for? And that
Yes.
just it changed my whole thing. And I was like, all right, not only do I know I love spin, but I want to be like, I want to work for this person.
Yeah.
Look how amazing she is.
Yeah.
I want to be part of her team. So I better work on myself, pull myself together so I can get back on the saddle and go back to the studio. And that's exactly what I did. So
Wow.
we went to a class together, her and I, like a pride
Yes.
ride thing.
Yes.
90 minutes, by the way, which was insane. 90 minutes was
Insane.
just
Yep.
insane.
Mm-hmm.
And this class it was exactly, it brought me back to basics, and it reminded me I had so much fun.
Back to
So much
basics.
fun.
There is so much of me with back to basics. I can't even tell you. Literally, I say back to basics all the time because that's what it is. Go back to your foundation, go back to basic choreography. Like
Yeah.
what, even for me, like my brain, like again, we all know I have ADHD. My brain cannot do complex choreography. I can't even remember what I was gonna do to even like I actually can't even do. I'm not qualified
Yeah.
for it.
Yeah.
Right? Like, and that's where for me, it's like I can't to go through that you were like, yeah, it's just crazy to me because the class you went to, I remember Emily telling me it was very basic choreography. Whoever the studio was, they've really toned down their choreography, which I was blown away that they had toned down their choreography that much, which is amazing. And again, probably you're seeing the clientele can't do it. So as I always say, if the instructor and two people in the front row can do it, the rest can't, like what the actual fuck do?
Exactly.
That's my
exactly.
thing. Yeah. And so that class brought you back to
absolutely
simplicity
did.
and choreography.
Absolutely did. I was, I was going, first of all, I'm an experienced rider. I've been spinning for a really long time, but I go to this new studio. So as an experienced rider, plus I have like training in it.
Yeah.
I go to a new studio and I'm feeling nervous about going to a new studio. I'm
Of
like,
course.
am I going to be able to do this? Like, oh my God, am I going to be like, am I going to
100%.
screw this up? And I'm experienced. So
imagine how a new person feels, Kat.
Bingo. Boom. So
It's the mic drop.
exactly. It's exactly
it's my
that.
biggest thing. Can you imagine? And then you're new. I get nervous like that too. Imagine being new. Like I can't.
Yeah.
I can't.
So
like,
that saved me. All those situations, like, talking with Emily, going to that class, getting rid of so many, Instagram, like I unfollow, like it felt liberating, and that changed the game for me. Changed the game 100%. Yeah.
That I didn't even know, like for anyone watching, like I had no idea. I wanted because Kat, I love Kat, especially because you did finish training in April. So I was like April to now. So she's had some experience teaching, and it's nice to get that perspective of because my other role was like a year, and it's not as shiny as it appears, and But for you to be this in and to go that, but of course it's like, of course I dived in with 2 feet and two whatever. It's like I followed
Yeah,
everyone and like I
exactly.
always tell people in training, my best day is quotes on my Instagram discover page, quotes
Yeah,
and dog videos and cat videos.
dogs. Yeah. And
That's
like
how I know I'm having like the bad. I'm like, no, yeah, I have to.
exactly.
And so
Exactly.
Melissa, one of my girls
Yeah.
from my studio owner at Hype Cycle Club, she was the first time that she or someone had said to me, like, Tash, you have to protect your peace. And I was like, what does that mean? And that's what she was talking about. Like,
Yeah.
people send me Instagram spin videos, and I'm like, I won't watch. I'll tell them, I'm sorry, I'm going to watch this. Like, I can't.
No.
Because for me, I believe in our program. I believe that within training, you have to learn how to ride the bike. You have to respect the bike as much as the light party choreography,
Yep.
but it's not. It's not a, what do I always say about the bike? It's not a, I can't remember my wording, but it's something like, because the bike is a prop. The bike is a prop,
Right.
and some people are just flying.
Yeah.
Like, and that's cool. Like, you do you, but
Yeah,
this is the
absolutely.
thing, is I'm seeing firsthand the effect of Instagram spin and other things.
Yeah.
But it's crazy that that's what happens. And to me, like, you're beautiful. You're on that bike, and this is where Melissa and I were like, this girl's nuts. Like, where I'm already, and I know that I'm a big picture person. Like, I'm already, you're teaching, this is what's going to happen. We're going to start these trainings. Oh, Kat's going to fit in there somewhere. Like, I already have it all figured out. I just don't want to like blow it up right now. But I've got it all figured out. And I was like, how do you not see? Like, the way I look at you and watch your videos, and how can you not see that? Like, how are you missing that? And I get it. I mean, listen, I was diagnosed with generalized anxiety disorder at 30. And I get it, but I don't get it when I look at you. And then I think Emily showed me a video of you on the bike, and it was just a little clip. I think not recently, but maybe when we were in Edmonton. Did you go back to teaching by the time I met Emily live in Edmonton? Because there was a clip.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a clip, and
I
was like,
yes,
and
I was.
You're like, that's it. I'm like, there it is. Now,
there it is. Yeah.
I always say with training, like, as people are like, I'm worried about my confidence, I'm worried about this. It was like, let us, like, as soon as you sign up, now it's our job to get you there. But it's interesting because we got you there, but then you tumbled again, which is, it's interesting. I wonder if anyone else, we'd love to hear if anyone else has a story like that, because that's where it's like, we got to get you back up. We got to go back.
And I think it's also, it's practicing what you preach, because we do. I mean, for me, when you and Michelle were, teaching us your ways and, this and that, like, I believed it. I was like, oh yeah, like I'm totally on board with this. But then it's like,
felt it.
you have to put, you have to put it into practice. It's not just believing it and saying it. It's also, well, I have to put that into my daily life. I have to practice that, and not just in the studio, everywhere else. It kind of has to go with your whole life now. And kind of, so it's one of those things where I'm grateful for what happened. I'm really grateful for what happened, because I'm in a much better place now. My class almost got canceled this morning because there was only 3 people signed up, and texting me, and I'm like, okay, inhale, exhale. Things happen. People are on like vacation, whatever. And people ended up signing up 2 hours before, and we had my class. We were 5 girls, and we had a blast. It just.
I always say intimate classes can be more fun and engaging.
They can be really
down
fun.
on the floor with them. Yeah, you wrote down on the floor.
Yeah,
amazing.
You kind of. I haven't like done the whole. I'm like, there's still things that I'm not super good at. I think, like,
or you haven't explored.
I haven't explored yet. I do get off the bike a lot more. I just want it to be authentic. I want it to be, it'll come when it comes naturally. I get off the bike a lot more. I go and see the riders a lot more. But
you could come down.
I don't force it.
you can come down and ride with them. And again, you
I
have to
do
check
that.
with Emily.
I do that.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
I
what I'm
do
talking
that.
about.
Oh,
Like an
absolutely.
intimate, and
Oh,
anyone
yeah.
else listening to
Oh,
this,
yeah.
intimate classes, and you know there's only 5, keep one of the bikes like in the middle,
Oh,
and you
yeah.
have everyone around you and you ride
Oh, yeah,
together.
absolutely.
I mean, you wouldn't be able to
Absolutely.
hit the lights and stuff like that, but you can get on that bike and then hop back
Yeah,
on yours and da-da-da. So,
absolutely.
but I always said to you, like, and everyone, I'm like, you'll know when you get off the bike, like if it feels awkward, it's gonna throw off awkward. Right?
Exactly.
And you'll know when you
Exactly.
get off. Like if you get off and you're
Yeah.
like step touch with weights, awkward. Don't do it. Don't
Exactly.
do it. Avoid,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
you'll know. Oh my God. I love it.
Yeah.
But you'll know your time. But
Yeah.
I can't. It's so funny because again, Michelle and I, just the way, like from day one, it was just like, oh, we got to rip this girl out. Like this girl, we got to
It
rip.
means so much.
Yeah.
It
But you
means so
can
much.
just see it. It's like, again, some people are held back and you never know what the reason is.
Yeah.
And I could see it. I could see that. I could see, I don't know why I'm so weird that way, but I could see you're held back and I don't know what it is, but I'm going to like rip it out of you.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But
it's pretty,
up there, you got yourself.
yeah. Yeah.
For
So,
me, yeah, I don't know. I've lost my train of thought, but I don't know. I'm trying to describe how Michelle and I were like, oh my God, cat, like, yeah, like just like trying to get you to see it. The conversations that we had with you, oh my God, they're so good. Or 3 ways, they're so good.
yeah.
So in saying that, what advice would you give your younger self now? Like if you could go back in time, what advice would you give your younger self?
Keep it simple. Everything, keep it simple. So keep it simple for I'll explain because yes, choreography, this and that.
Yep.
Keep it simple in the sense of keep it simple for yourself too. I have a different style of music maybe than someone. Keep it simple. Stay true to what you love because that's what, if you're having fun, people are going to have fun with you.
Yeah.
Keep it simple. Don't overthink anything. If it feels right, do it. Keep that whole simple. Go with it. Yeah. I think that would be definitely it. And then obviously, yeah, everything that has to do with just simplicity is going to give you peace of mind. Peace of mind is just, it's priceless.
Yeah.
It's so important.
It really is. I know.
It's so important.
Yeah.
So
yeah. I love that. Oh my God, that's so good. Yeah. Keep it simple. Yeah. What brings you great joy?
What brings me
great joy? Like
great
maybe the
joy.
answer, maybe the answer would have been different before. So there's that question. But then also, did Emily give you the 5-minute journal? Is that the one you got?
Yes.
Yes.
Or it's called Sunshine State of Mind. It's like a yellow. It's a yellow. It's really, and it's in English actually. There's even like daily stretching poses and like just get stuff out of your brain type thing, which is like good for me because
that's good for
brain
me.
dump. Love it. Yeah.
I never heard of that. And when someone told me, I was like, oh my God.
Yeah. That's huge. That's huge. Or like, and it's just like things that you're scared of during the day. Like what's stressing you out right now? Well, my, 5 p.m. class is stressing me out, which is no longer in my journal because it doesn't stress me out anymore. But, yeah, like what stress? Okay. So write it down. And then it's like, oh, well, it's written down. I don't have to stress about it anymore. Anyway, it's really helpful. It's really helpful.
And how do you find it? So again, me with my little like, I'm so busy, and I'm whipped up. I literally am whipped up, and then have to lie on the couch essentially and do nothing because I'm paralyzed.
Yeah.
Like it's either one or the other. So how do you, because I was like, okay, I'm going to do the 5-minute journal. And then I was like, I feel so unsuccessful right away because it's like 3 things you're grateful for and I only have 1. So I'm like, okay, I'm not grateful enough. Well, I need to be more grateful. Or at the end of the day, it was like one thing you learned from today, or it was said differently. And I was changing it to
Yeah.
that wording. But then I was like, oh God, I don't think I learned anything today. And then I would start like berating myself. But I was like, whoa, what am I doing? I'm not learning every day. Like what, and some days it's just a matter of like getting through the day. So
Yeah.
to me, I was like, I can't, this is not
It's
helping.
too
This is
much.
not helping.
It's not
So
helping. Yeah.
I haven't found the right one to try and sit down and
Yeah.
try and do that. Like, I don't know, but I'll look up that one. But
That one's really cool. Yeah.
Yeah. I just found I got frustrated.
No, and I understand because if someone asked me every day, what did you learn today? That would be a lot mentally to have to think about.
Well, I'm like, okay, well,
That's a lot
what if
to
I
think
didn't? What if I didn't learn something new today, but I
Yeah.
did yesterday? And then also and I know
And then
a lot of people, it's like the ADHD and people make fun of it. But at the end of the day, it's like when you have it, first of all, you're not making fun of it. That's a big thing. And
Yeah.
number two is I black out half the time. I
Yeah.
literally black out. I'll be in a conversation, which I even did with you. I started looking up because I was like, what was I even, I black out. And so now
Yeah.
I'm supposed to write down what I learned today. Well, now I can't even remember what I did yesterday or today. Like I know something made me feel a little off, but I can't remember what it was. And then maybe 3 or
Yep.
4 days later, I'll be like, oh yeah, the way someone looked at me or something, it just didn't make me feel great or crazy. Like,
Yeah,
I'm
it
like,
is crazy.
okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Like that goes back
No,
to
I get it.
energies, right? People's
Yeah.
energy and feeling everything and like,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Absolutely.
So
So
what brings you joy?
great joy. What brings me great joy is, oh my goodness, so much now. It's crazy because going and writing things that I'm grateful for every day, I realize how many things bring me great joy. So what
Yeah.
brings me great joy
Okay.
is peace.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Peace and peaceful moments.
Yeah.
Yes.
Just being
Yes.
at peace, peaceful
Yes.
moments,
Yes.
being at, acceptance, like that peace
Yeah.
brings me great joy.
Yes. Oh my God.
I'm in this
that.
era now. Yeah.
Yeah, that's so good. You know what I call
Yeah.
it is magic moments. Like for me,
Yeah.
and I've been on this for definitely since before the pandemic. I remember Christy, one of my girls, and Lloyd like talked about this, and it's like find joy spot. We called it was called joy spotting. And there was a book, the book, I was like, what? But I love like going for a dog walk. And then there's the lilacs. I love lilacs and smelling the lilacs. To me, that's a magic moment. Or,
Yeah.
in your day, like yesterday, I taught 2 of the 3 classes and then went to see a friend I haven't seen in a long time. And like to me,
Yeah.
just having a coffee and sitting with her, magic moment. Like
Yeah.
I just find so many magic moments, and maybe they are just moments. I probably like them to last a little longer before I go into my next train of thought of like, oh, my business,
Right.
and I have to do, all that stuff. But I
Yeah.
love,
Yeah.
I love, and I live for moments of magic.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
Those little, and that's what I think that, when you're talking about those magic moments, like those are peaceful moments because
Yes.
you remember
Yeah.
them because you were so present and you were so
Yeah.
there, right?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
That's kind of how I see it too. So,
But it's moments that bring
Yeah.
you great joy. And for me, I think my favorite thing is dog walking. And even here in
Yeah.
Airdrie, we have this crazy group of people that we dog walk with. And
Yeah.
one guy is a retired truck driver with like the beard down
Amazing.
here, Jeff,
Yeah.
and rides a motorbike. And then one of our girls is Terry, dog walker. Love her so much. Frenchie. And then my Lori that I actually taught my first group exercise class with in 2005. So been
Yeah.
great friends since there, and her husband Rudy. And we all and there's many others. Like it's just Richard, like we got our representation of like I don't want to say gay, but like husbands at the park.
Yeah.
It's just so fun. Like it's such a mishmash of people, and it is
Yeah.
like I always have such a great day when I do that dog walk with all these different people. And of course,
Do you want to hear something really funny?
Oh my God! Also, we have that story.
Yeah, we do have that story. But side note, because my head goes there too, right?
Okay.
I
Yeah.
have that in common with you. But
Yeah.
so it's funny because my son's super allergic to dogs, but we love dogs. We're three of us dog people. We love dogs. We will go to the dog park sometimes. We don't have a dog. Like we're those weird
Yeah,
people who are at the
that'll come
dog
in.
park and just like there, like, oh my God,
We
look
just
at
want
him
to
and look
meet
at it.
your
We do
dog.
that. Yeah, we're weird. Anyways, but so
My
we do that.
God.
But yeah, dog park. You met someone. How
This was
small
so
is the world?
insane. Okay, like
The world is
literally, everybody
literally
listen
this
up.
small.
It
This
was
crazy.
crazy. Kat messages me one, I don't even know, out of nowhere. It says,
Yeah.
you know my brother-in-law. I was like, what? Literally thinking she's nuts. I was like, I've been to Gatineau. And like once I went with my bestie, she got her hair done. No way I know her brother-in-law. And but like, I don't even know. It was a guy I met in the dog park here in Airdrie. He has
Yeah.
amazing energy. Great guy. He thought I was 30. I forgot to tell you that, by the way. He thought I was 30. I was like,
Oh,
no. And he was going traveling. I legit, and Terry was with me. We met him. And his dog was so cute. And he was getting in his truck and he was driving across Canada. He had a wedding in Montreal. He's from
Yeah.
Montreal. He's
This,
from Montreal.
yeah. So he is from Montreal. The wedding is this Saturday in Lanark. So he's my husband's brother. So
It was
he was
crazy.
he just redid the fence with my husband last weekend. They worked like crazy people in the heat and anyway, so we were sitting in the backyard and Rob, my husband, was telling his brother, he's like, yeah, so Kat started giving, spin instructor and she wants to go and visit you in Airdrie because her spin instructor is there. And he's like, oh, that's cool. And then Rob's like, yeah, her name is Tash. And he's like, Tash, like Tashi, like training with Tashi. And I was like, stop. Please stop right now because that is way too. And he's like, I met her randomly at a dog park. I was like, what? In what world?
He was leaving the next day or whatever. Like he was going. Like it
happened. Yeah,
that was insane. And the Cat, like my brother-in-law. And then I'm like, okay, wait. Like, was it my boyfriend when I was 22? Was it Slick, Steve Campanelli? And it was through friends of them because Montreal, da da da.
Yeah.
I went down the train and then I was like, Kat, I don't know. Like, it's a cute picture of this guy sent to me. I was like, I don't know.
We sent a selfie. Yeah.
Super cute. And I was like, how, like, I'm losing it because I don't know how I know him. She's like, you met him in Dog Park. And I was like, oh my God. Because we followed each other. I said I was training with Tasha and he friended me.
Yeah.
Oh my God. That is, and he's coming back in the fall. Anyway, it was like, imagine that's Kat's brother-in-law.
Yeah, I know. It's pretty insane. And I think that's life.
Yes.
Just, I don't know. I believe in stuff like that.
Yeah.
Sometimes,
me too.
My husband thinks I'm kooky sometimes, but that kind of solidifies. That's life telling me to like solidifying like certain things. Anyway, so I thought that was pretty cool. That's pretty cool.
It's kind of like not fate, but I've had many of these stories in my life. Like, I was in Australia and I was on a bus and I thought it was 13 hours, but it turns out I'm really bad at math. It was 23 hours from Sydney to Cairns. Oh yeah, it was unbelievable. And I pull into this bus stop or whatever on the bus in a place called Newcastle. And I look out, it's 1 a.m. and there's Bruce Boschauers, one of my boyfriend when I was 22, his best friend. And he was traveling and I had no idea. And I ran off the bus. I'm like, it's like insanity. But I have many of those stories. Like, I have so many stories like that. Yeah. So I love that. Me too. I love those stories. Like, that's insane.
Yeah.
The one in the dog park, like the fact that that guy was your brother-in-law, like that was insanity. That one.
What are the odds? It's pretty crazy. So yeah.
Maybe I'll run into him again and be like, hey. Because I sent him a text. I was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
I know. And he was like, yeah, like he was pretty calm. I was like, okay, well, I was a little bit more excited than he was. No big deal. As usual, I'm like, he's like,
I was
cool.
too.
Yeah. It was funny. Anyway, I want to thank you so much for spending time with me. And
Thanks for having me.
I didn't even know, like, again, I think this will help so many people if they have some struggles. And for sure, what I have to do is on my website. I have to, when I post this, I need to attach like your Insta, and I need to do that with
Oh, okay,
everyone
yeah.
else as well.
Yeah,
I need to get caught up. And but yeah, so if you want to reach out to Kat, of course she's happy to talk to anyone in our community,
absolutely.
right? Like